Should Disney be worried about Epic Universe, Orlando's newest theme park opening up in 2025? And will the coveted theme park crown be handed over to Disney's biggest competitor? Well, in today's video, I wanted to talk about all that and more. So how about you and I dive right in. Now, before we get started with today's video, if you're new here and you love all things theme parks and you're obsessed just as much as I am, well, you should consider subscribing, because I go to a bunch of different theme parks from all over, and I have videos every single week that you won't want to miss out on. So it's totally free, doesn't cost a thing. Hit that button down below and subscribe and help out the channel. But now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the subject matter, and that is, should Disney be worried about Epic Universe? Well, let's first talk about each of the products. I think we can all agree that both Universal and Disney in Orlando offer a pretty fun product. I have a great time at both properties. Walt Disney World is huge, and with reservations and boarding groups aside, it's pretty fun. They have 4 theme parks, they have 2 water parks, and dozens of resort hotels. There's plenty to do at Walt Disney World. I have a great time every single time I go. And same goes for Universal Orlando. I love Universal Orlando Resort. There's plenty of hotels to explore. There's 2 theme parks and 1 water park, which, by the way, is one of my favorite water parks, Volcano Bay. So yeah, overall, both resort properties have something to offer for just about everybody. Disney and Universal have always been competitors, and especially when it comes to the theme park space out in Florida, yeah, they're always trying to one-up each other to draw the demographic to their property versus the other. And as a consumer of all these theme park products and a theme park enthusiast, I love the competition because it only means great things for us. But sometimes a company can get a little too cocky and rest on their laurels, and I think that's what's happening at Disney, specifically at Walt Disney World. Now, that's not to say that Disney's been doing nothing the past decade. No, they've done quite a bit. But the thing is that some of these projects are taking a little bit longer than anticipated. Not all of them, but a vast majority of them, because Disney is notorious for taking a long time when it comes to build-outs. And this is where the question gets brought up: should Disney be worried about Epic Universe? And when it comes to construction timelines and how quickly a company can produce a product, yes, I think Disney should be very worried. Disney's been smooth sailing for a while, and the attendance numbers justify that, so I could see why Disney doesn't need to rush to open some things up. If people are still crowding the parks, and the parks are making more money than ever, yeah, why do we need to build something very, very quickly? But that mindset of taking your time and moving the goalposts can only take you so far, especially when your competition is in a totally different world. Let's look at some comparisons here. Journey of Water at Epcot opened up not too long ago. That project took about 4 years to complete. Volcano Bay at Universal Orlando, that took half the time, about 2 years to complete. Again, a water park with multiple attractions, backstage facility, quick service restaurants, shops, I mean everything. A water park in 2 years. And not a small water park, it's pretty large. Now, some of you might say, oh, well, Dylan, they had to stop construction because of the pandemic. Okay, cool, well, let's do that comparison too. Tron took 5 years to build. Then they stopped construction for the pandemic. Well, Velocicoaster took 2 years to build, 2.5 years, roughly. And they did not stop during the pandemic. So I don't want to hear anybody's excuses that Disney had to stop or whatever. Now, Disney chose to stop and not do anything about it. Universal, on the other hand, stopped for a little bit, but then chose to start back up, and they found a safe and effective way to get the construction going. And here's another wild comparison, since I was talking about Epcot a little bit earlier. Here is what Journey of Water looked like January of 2022, and this is what it looks like at the end of 2022, so a full year of construction. Now let's compare this to Universal speed. This is what Epic Universe looked like in January 2022, and this is what Epic Universe looked like in December of 2022. 12 months, 1 full year. Not just a big difference, a monumental difference. It's just absolutely bonkers that in the same amount of time that it took to build Tron at Walt Disney World, Universal was able to build Epic Universe, 2 new hotels, deploy a new nighttime spectacular, an all-new parade, renovate an old attraction, and renovate an older land. If Universal continues with that ambition, there is no doubt in my mind that Universal will steal the crown from Disney and become the new leader in Orlando, because there's no way, unless Disney changes, that they are going to catch up to Universal's pace. And hey, I'm really excited for what Disney's going to be showing off at this year's D23. Been hearing that they got some really ambitious plans, and hey, I'm stoked. But unless they're gonna build these new ambitious projects that they're gonna be talking about at D23 in roughly the same time they did Galaxy's Edge or Pandora, well, then they're gonna fall behind. If they take as long as they did with Tron or Guardians of the Galaxy or even Journey of Water, well, by the time these new projects open at Walt Disney World, Epic Universe might have another expansion, and Islands of Adventure, Universal Studios, and Volcano Bay might have new rides of their own as well. So Disney will then be playing catch up to Universal. And this is all pretty strange because, again, they built Galaxy's Edge at Walt Disney World relatively quickly in roughly 3 years. That's pretty good for a 14-acre land. I mean, the land is massive, it's really beautiful, and the attractions are fun. So the fact that they built that in 3 years is pretty impressive. But what happened after that? Like, you can't blame the shutdown anymore. I mean, we're long past that. So what's going on? What is going on, and what's the reason why they're taking so long? You know, Bob Iger said not too long ago that they've known about Epic Universe for 10 years. They've known about it 5 years before they officially announced it. So if that's the case, Bob, why didn't you accelerate a bunch of new expansions for Walt Disney World? Not just hotels and DVC towers. I'm talking about multiple rides for all of your parks there and your water parks that have been sitting there rotting. You should have been building something to open up the same year as Epic Universe. Why would you let your competition steal the whole year from you? No, I would have tried to open up a bunch of attractions the same time Epic Universe was going to open. Because it's like, yeah, if I'm in direct competition with them, why would I want people to go over there? No, I want people to stay on my property. So yeah, we have 4 new rides. We have a couple new water slides at our water parks. Yeah, come stay at Walt Disney World. It's great. But nope, that was definitely not the case. And the Epcot transformation, don't even get me started on that. That took way too long for not the best payoff. Tons of wasted money. I mean, millions and millions of dollars thrown down the drain for a renovation that really wasn't that extravagant. Not nearly as extravagant as what we got at California Adventure. That renovation was awesome. That is a park overhaul, not what they did at Epcot. You know, some of the stuff at Epcot is great. You know, I love Cosmic Rewind and some of the stuff that they've done in the France Pavilion and things that they've done throughout the park. I mean, I still love Epcot to death, but I'm not blind to the fact that that renovation is not nearly as extravagant as California Adventures was. And what's even more funny about that statement from Bob Iger, he said that they've known about Epic Universe for 10 years. He also started to talk about what they've done to prepare for Epic Universe. They opened up Toy Story Land and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and Pandora and all this stuff.
We've been aware of Universal's plans for a new park for more than a decade. And we have a sophisticated approach to analyzing the needs of all of our businesses and strategically deploying capital. We opened Pandora, the world of Avatar and Animal Kingdom, Toy Story Land, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway at Hollywood Studios.
Bob, by the time Epic Universe opens, all of that stuff will be a few years old. And meanwhile, while Disney's wasting all of this time when they could have been building even more, Universal was doing just that. They were building even more and an entire new theme park on top of that. Now, the other looming threat that I want to put more into focus is the family decision-making when it comes to their vacation in Orlando. Sure, when a family goes out to Orlando, they might visit both properties. They might go to Walt Disney World and Universal. I definitely do, but I'm in like a different category of my own. I'm like a crazy theme park enthusiast that is just gonna see everything out there. But an average family of 4 living in the middle of the country or maybe in some other different country that goes to Walt Disney World maybe once a year or once every other year is now gonna be making a decision. Well, do we go back to Walt Disney World or do we go to Universal? I don't think people are going to be going to both as much as a lot of people think they are. And there's a couple reasons why I don't think they're going to be going to both. One, it's expensive. Vacations are expensive and people are going to be really picking and choosing what they do. And two, if Disney doesn't have anything new and the family has already experienced everything new at Walt Disney World, why on earth would I pay more to do the same thing I did a year or two ago? The shiny new toy at Universal Orlando completely outweighs some of the nostalgia factor that Walt Disney World is trying to hold on to. When you have a brand new theme park built from the ground up, it's the most advanced theme park out there right now. The latest of the latest is there, and they got some pretty cool IP. Well, that family from Texas or wherever is probably going to pick the shiny new theme park that just opened down the road. Again, why would they spend more money to do what they've already done when they could spend maybe the same amount of money or maybe even less, depending on how much it costs over at Universal once Epic Universe opens, to experience something new? Most people are going to be picking the new thing. And because of Epic Universe's opening time frame, it's too late for Disney to react to this. It is far too late to try to open up something compelling to convince that family, hey, you know what, maybe you should spend another day at Walt Disney World. I don't think it's going to happen as much as people think it's going to happen. I think there is going to be a monumental shift, and a lot of people are going to be spending their time at Universal Orlando. There's going to be a few families in there that might go to Walt Disney World, to one of their favorite parks, but are they going to be staying on property as much as they used to? No, I think they're going to be staying at Universal. At the end of the day, Disney dropped the ball, and I think Disney should be very worried about Epic Universe. They should have been faster with construction. They shouldn't have moved the goalpost as much as they did with some of their projects. And they should have thought about the repercussions of an all-new fancy theme park opening up down the street from them. Let's not forget about what the Wizarding World did to the entire industry. And I think we're going to see that repeated with Epic Universe. Disney, I love you, but I hope you can speed things up because your competition is flying. This is what Epic Universe looks like in January of 2021. Whole lot of nothing. And now this is what it looks like today. The latest photos from Bioreconstruct on X. Yeah, pretty impressive. And what do you all think? Go ahead and comment down below. Are you excited for Epic Universe? And do you think Disney should be worried? And I also want to know where you're going to be staying. Will you be staying on Walt Disney World property after Epic Universe opens? Or will you change plans and stay at Universal Orlando for a few days? Go ahead and let me know down below. But you know what, with that, I think that's going to do it for today's video. So if you enjoyed it, you can let me know by smashing the thumbs up button down below. And if you're new to the channel and you love theme parks just as much as I do, well, you should consider subscribing because I have brand new videos every single week that you won't want to miss out on. Don't forget to check out my Instagram account and X account. Those links will be down below in the description. But until the next video, I hope you have a beautiful day, morning, evening, whatever it is. And I'll see you next time in the parks. Bye.